The tolling of the bells awakens the corners of the Pashupatina temple, one of the most important Hindu temples in Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. The Hindu sculptures today will greet new visitors. They will also invite us into a mysterious world, a world that will leave you seeking more of it. Here, you will see different people. Some are visitors, some are worshippers, and some are just tired souls seeking solace. The path going through here will lead a soul to serenity and a rebirth. At the gate of the temple lies a cow. It is pampered and revered. Visitors pay their respects. Unlike popular belief, it is not a deity. It is regarded as the mother of plenty, the mother of all animals, a giver more than a taker. Consuming only water, grass, and grain, the cow in return gives milk, cream, cheese, and butter. The cow is a source of blessings, good and life on earth. This is what prompted the god Krishna to protect it, as mentioned in the Vedas, the Hindu scriptures. Fire from ancient times represented enlightenment, and was believed to have been passed on to man from the gods. Here within this world, it has a different purpose. Here in the 400-year-old Pashupatina temple, fire is used for only one thing: the burning of bodies, part of the fascinating Hindu ritual of cremation. The temple is full today. The family of the deceased are present, and so are curious onlookers. They are here to witness the ritual of cremation. A list of prices for cremation fees exists. The cost varies depending on the age of the deceased. Like, for example, if one wants to spend 40 days mourning a relative at the temple, they can go with a full cremation service at a cost of $90. The day of cremation has great significance for Hindus. It is when the spirit of the deceased finds tranquility. Hindus believe in reincarnation, a belief that the human spirit passes through a cycle of successive lives known as samsara. After the death of the body, a spirit moves on and is reborn into another human, animal, or insect. The body is left to dry for 2 hours. The feet point to the south, where the god of death, Yama, resides, and the head towards the north. The family and relatives of the deceased are standing. They are waiting for the spirit to free itself from its shell and embark on its next journey. This type of wood accelerates the burning process. All materials have to be devoid of fuel and oils for 2 reasons: avoid any unpleasant smells and respect the deceased. Everyone gathers around the deceased, the sons, relatives, and friends. Sadness prevails as the spirit cleansing ritual is about to commence. Even though cremation is an inseparable part of their religion and culture, you can still see the anticipation in the eyes of all those present. Water in Hindu beliefs is one of the main elements that constitute a spirit. That is why this man, a direct relative, is putting drops of water from the holy Brahmati river into the mouth of the deceased. They are ringing the bells. The ritual has commenced. As more preparations are made and rituals executed, some of those present throw coins into the holy Brahmati river for blessings. They wish to be blessed by the waters upon which the temple is built. Family members continue to pour water into the mouth of the deceased. Hindus from around the world bring their dead to this temple because they wish to undergo the same holy ritual. The attendants are watching, knowing that one day they will go through the same rituals. Close relatives have decorated the pyre with flowers before the arrival of the body. The priests cleanse their own bodies with the same holy water used for the deceased. They cannot light the pyre before doing so. They wear white garments that represent purity. The sons of the deceased at this moment circle the pyre 3 times because they have 3 Hindu gods: Brahma, the creator of the universe; Vishnu, the preserver of the universe; and Shiva, the destroyer of the universe. A torch is carried by the chief mourner, the eldest son. As he and his brothers circle the body, he extends his hands towards his father's mouth and lights the pyre. With sadness and pain, they watch the body of their father consumed by the fire. The mouth is first cleansed by holy water and is soon followed by fire. Hindus believe the mouth is the source of good and evil. They also believe life thrives with the mouth at the moment of birth. The family of the deceased will stay here for 3 to 4 hours. This is how long it takes for a body to be cremated. They soon announce the start of mourning, which may last for 13 days to a year. More logs are added to the burning pyre. They pile the logs over the body. A body requires an average of 250 kilograms of wood. Each log is roughly the thickness of a medium-sized tree trunk. To build the fire and quicken the burning process, they add wet straw, grass, ghee, and sugar. everyone is watching. A sense of reverence and silence fills the air. As the smoke spirals around, the spirit begins its journey in search for its next destination. This is not an end, but is the beginning. The crowd starts to leave. Some stay. They are contemplating the fate of the deceased and their own. For one day, they in turn will be center stage on their own journey. Not all bodies are cremated, however. According to Hinduism, priests and children under the age of 2 are free from judgment, for their spirits are pure and have no sins. They are instead buried. As one life ends here, another begins elsewhere. The fire consumes everything within it, and as it grows bigger, the body becomes smaller and smaller, turning into ashes. The spirit in Hinduism is composed of earth, fire, water, and air. Cremation reverts the spirit to its original state. From here on, a new journey begins for the spirit of the deceased. The priests turn the fire to make sure the entire body is reduced to ashes. Even the smoke gradually dissipates. Nothing remains of a body that once belonged to a person who walked and lived among them. The body that no longer exists was once a human, embraced by a family and embraced by this earth. His ashes will now be embraced by the holy river. The priests soon push the ashes into the river in preparation for other bodies the following day. Cremation rituals at the temple starts at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hindus do not view death as an ending. The spirit for them, unlike the body, does not die or decay. In this way, death is not a loss. The cremation ritual has come to an end. The priests have set the soul free from its flesh and bone fetters. The holy river now embraces the spirit and unites it with the god Brahman until it is reborn again. Soon, more spirits will join in. The rain draws the curtains on today's scene at the temple, where a fire has been roaring, consuming bodies and purifying spirits. All is silent now, but in a few hours' time, this silence will be broken, and death, like an actor standing on a stage, will announce its presence again. Sadhus are a Hindu religious sect. The temple is their dwelling and sanctuary. Here within these ancient corners, they lead a kind life, free from everything, a life dominated by austerity. Sadhus believe they were born into this world only to worship the gods and wait the death of their bodies. They spend their entire lives preparing for their funerals. They have devoted themselves to the worship of the god Brahma, the god of creation. Their clothes are simple with distinctive details. Among the first things that will draw your attention to sadhus is the way with which they dye and paint their faces to reflect their own distinctive spiritual beliefs through a mystical ritual called the tilak. Their colors are symbolic. Black is the symbol of fire, red the symbol of happiness, which is the color of the gods. Orange is the sacred color, and the color of the fabric and flowers with which they cover the bodies of their dead before cremation. And white is the symbol of mourning as well as purity. They may look different to onlookers. However, they all share the same simple principles of life, truths, and goals. The sadhus live in complete isolation. They do not interact with anyone beyond their reality. The Pashupatina temple is their home. Surrounded by the smell of cremated bodies, they sleep and wake up with the thought of death, the only constant in their lives. They chose this way of life willingly. It is filled with prayers, meditation, calls for compassion and peace for themselves as well as for others. What a journey! We have learned a few things about Hindu beliefs and rituals that date back to the 15th century BC, beliefs and rituals that withstood the test of time. At the Pashupatina temple in Nepal, we have seen life and death. Here, we witnessed people grieving the loss of their dead with fire, and people content with their lives, pursuing peace of mind and existence. During our journey, we learned that there are many things in life we do not know, stories we would not have heard, ways of life we did not even believe existed. We will continue exploring different places and travel all around to unveil the unknown, to get glimpses of the unreached. Our story at the Pashupatina temple has come to an end. Everything that we have seen is but a particle of this vast world that is full of billions of people, different nations, in many beliefs and religions. And once you think you know something, remember, there is plenty out there for you to discover, because it is
العالم كبير.